Hello everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to be with you. This is where I'm supposed to introduce myself and give my name. However, if I've got to tell you who I am, I really have a problem. So let me just start by commending Roy and Shirley for 35 years of partnership in the community, and for this Pearl anniversary, 30 years for the Chamber, and for your economic development, for your business development, for bringing to our attention many issues that but for you we would not have embraced. I thank you for the way you've incorporated education into business development, because the foundation of a great nation is education. Also want to thank you for your literacy seminars, helping people better understand the financial institutions, how they function, and how to properly handle small business transactions. Very important for people to start from the ground up. Finally, let me thank the community of faith for partnershiping with you tonight, such that you would have this event in the community where the Chamber happens to be. It's a wonderful thing to know that you're circulating dollars through the community. And for fear, Roy and Shirley, that there may be one who doesn't know who I am, this is your Congressman Al Green, and I approve this message.
Wake up, everybody.
I remember the first time I met Roy. I was impressed with his frankness. Roy has a way of saying things, and which is quite refreshing on the one hand, but certainly from some other folk it can come off a little bit as being a little gruff at times. But I can tell you that what I appreciate about Roy is that he speaks his mind. He's very honest, and certainly a hard-working individual, one of the hardest working people I've known in my life.
I met Shirley Ann, I guess not long after she and Roy got married, and so I've known them for that amount of time. Now, I've known Roy since I was 7 years old, and he's about 3 years older than me, so we grew up together. I attended St. Monica's Catholic Church. And believe it or not, we called him Doug at that time. Believe it or not, Doug was in charge of the little children, us little ones in the church, and he was in charge of supervising us, getting us in line to come into the church. So you can imagine what that must have been like, because even back then, he was cussing like a sailor.
I am delighted to declare that I am a friend to Roy and Shirley Malonson, the only couple like them on the planet. I have known this amazing man and woman now for about 35 years, and I'm excited to share with you that these individuals are iconic in our community, and I'm delighted to call them my friend. And of course, I'm glad that Roy sometimes calls me his friend.
In the middle of '80, I was the Director of Information for Vietnamese Catholic community in Houston. We have about 30,000 members strong. And then because of the cultural difference, the misunderstanding, so that's why we have a conflict one time between the Vietnamese and African American community. So that's why I met Mr. Malonson to try to defuse it.
I think the most memorable thing that I carry forward with the Malonsons is the passion for justice, the courage to make people mad, the courage to not compromise principles. When people are in the public arena, you generally see there are two major kinds of people. One that want to make everybody happy, and one that wants to make people do what's right. And the Malonsons, and Roy Douglas Malonson in particular, was an individual that wanted people to do what was right. And that's why I respected him so much.
I got involved at Acres Home when I was elected to the HCC board, because I found all of the areas in my area were not getting good educational services. And I got the conversation with Malonson then, and that grew to my joining the chamber, my working with the chamber, but more so it was his passion about helping his community. And you don't see that very often. People talk about passion, but they don't demonstrate it.
Malonson is a good example for anybody with a handicap or anything with a life challenge. To understand you can not allow your dreams to die. Your desires, to accomplish things, you can do that. His ideal also was to work in the community for Acreage Home. He's always advocated for Acreage Home and education and community development, and certainly has done a great job as the founder of our Chamber of Commerce in this community.
Memorable moments, one of which that comes to mind is the building of the Beulah Shepherd Center. I know that was a very deep commitment that Roy had made, but I saw his deep-rooted compassion in wanting to get that building up, get it open, and making it a part of this great community, and in which he did accomplish that. It was very, very, very good accomplishment on his part.
I would say when I think about the Malonsons, I just think about how much they give back. I think about how they're no nonsense, and when I say that, like the Malonsons, they have the biggest hearts. They have biggest hearts, and they're always looking out for the community.
After we have together to have to defuse the problem, and later we became friends. And actually, he's my mentor. He teach me, everything, good, bad, ugly thing.
If you have the courage to listen to Malonson, if you have the courage to accept his beliefs and his passion, he'll make you a better person. He made me a better person in the full range of public policy issues, and for that, I'll always be grateful.
Roy and Shirley Malonson are the very definition of a power couple. When you look at Roy and you look how they interact with one another, you see the love, it's genuine, it comes right off the bat. You see the way they work together, and you see the results of the work that they've done together.
One thing I can say about Mrs. Malonson, she's told me more. Like, I can't remember everything that Mrs. Malonson has told me, especially how to pay attention to detail, how to look at different functions. Like, she just taught me to be like a sponge and to absorb everything that I'm around. Because often I would go to dinners with them and think I was just there to eat some good food, but she's like, no, Anthony, no, that's not what you're here for. She said, look at these decorations on the table. Look at the way the room is flowing. Look at the people that are here. Look at how the stuff is set up. She said, we're bringing you here so you can learn how to replicate this or take this back and tweak it and put it in your own community. Because this is what this is about, is building up your own community, building up your people. So you're here to learn. You can have your food and stuff, but you're here to learn.
It was a birthday party. I could not believe that a woman looking that beautiful, that young, was 80 years old. It was nowhere in the world you could tell me that. And I see why Roy walks around with all this big smile on his face all the time, because he has a reason to.
And First City National Bank was the first to hire a black woman as a officer in the bank. Mrs. Malonson was the first black woman, and she rose to official status, so much so until they made her attractive. They put a red carpet on the window and put her in the window where the public could see her as they passed down the streets, main streets, and there she was sitting at her desk. And as a result of that, many of us deposited our means, our monies, our church monies at that bank. So she's a first, and we certainly applaud her for that. And she did it with dignity and great profession. And we appreciate what she did, paving the way for other blacks to be involved in banking and other businesses. Carry on, Ms. Malonson, you're still doing a good job.
What is probably one of the most memorable moments with your husband?
Well, I guess it could be my Rolls Royce. My bling bling.
No, tell about the Rolls Royce.
My Canadian red fire.
Hey, that's too much.
Full lip coat.
She got tissue.
A black customer, I financed the Rolls Royce for. And that was the first time I had ever financed a classic car, which I didn't know when I was looking in my NADA book for the price of it. It wasn't there. And when I asked my manager about it, he said, you need to go to the investment department. That's where you get all the prices of used Rolls Royce. And so the customer had saved $10,000. He was a black baller. They cut hair to jail and all. And so when I saw the value that those classic cars didn't depreciate, they appreciate. And so when I got home, I told Roy, if you ever want to make an investment and get another family car, it needs to be a classic car like a Rolls Royce. And
I said,
I guess about.
And I told her she must be crazy.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, we gave her.
But a year or two later, I didn't receive a Christmas gift. And after Christmas, he carried me. I didn't know where I was going, to the Rolls Royce dealership on 16 Landers. And he walked in his overalls. He had been outside working. He told the salesman that he was there to buy a Rolls Royce for his wife. Showed me I pick anything I wanted. And so that was a very proud moment. A black man could do that.
That ever happened to me.
And Roy and Shirley Malonson are people that actually do a lot of things in the community, have done a lot of things in the community, and he's been a mentor to me. My wife loves Shirley, and she spent a lot of money up in Shirley's shops over the years, and then I've got a lot of things in my house with Malonson's imprint on them.
And the fact that Roy had the vision to bring a business chamber to the historic Acres Homes community is just revolutionary in itself. Having served with him, knowing his vision and watched his passion for empowering people in this community, especially the least of these, and the vulnerable, the children, the poor, and representing them with a level and brand of advocacy that is uniquely Roy Malonson's. Of course, we all have our special moments with Roy.
When they invited me to their ranch, and of course Roy rode me all around the ranch and everything, and showed me the cows, the deer, and all that kind of thing. But I think the real beauty of that was the camaraderie we had, to talk about what had gone on, and to have a person who feels so deeply for his community and still have the time to give. He's always giving out. I say that's a complete human being.
And Mr. Malonson, oh man, it's a whole lot. I don't know what to say about Mr. Malonson, but I can say he's definitely like another father figure to me, and he's taught me a whole lot of stuff. You know, he's taught me a whole lot of business sense. He's told me how to make decisions. He always say, Anthony, you know, you can't just sit still. You got to make a decision. Even if it's the wrong decision, you make a decision. You deal with the rest later. But you got to keep on pushing forward. And something else that I've learned from them is like they've had plenty of adversities inside the past, or things that have set them back or knocked them back, but they don't sway. You know, they keep on pressing forward, and you know, keep on going day by day and moving forward. And so that's a couple of the things that I've learned from the Malonsons. Oh, and to give back, they say you have to give back. Well, Mr. Malonson, he say first, two broke suckers can't help nobody. And so what he's meaning by that is like, if you broke, I'm broke, you know, we might have good hearts, but that only goes so far. He say you got to do good to do well. And when you do well, that's when you can give back. And he said, you know, you can have the heart, but you need to have something else that goes along with that.
Just over the years, I've always admired their work ethic, the love for the community, and the things that they do in the community that a lot of people don't really know about. Even though Roy has a unique personality, that if you know Roy, you know that he's not shy. But at the same time, there's a humility that underscores all of the good things that they do, and I've learned as I've gotten older to pay more attention to what people do than what they say.
I must say, I want to thank Roy and Shirley, in particular Roy, for the patience that he has taken with me to prepare me to step in and follow behind him. No one can fill his shoes, but he has literally taken the time to teach me and groom me on the inner workings of the chamber and how to best serve the community. I hope and pray that I'm able to do justice to his decision and his effort with that regard.
I want to commend you, my brother Roy, and of course we text back and forth messages to encourage each other sometime. I want to just commend you for being so consistently you. And I know that you have not been moved by celebrity, have never been overtaken with popularity. You just sought to do your mission, and you do it your way. It's not always what people applaud, but I want you to know that long after we're off the planet, the legacy that you have established here in Acres Homes and in this city will outlive your physical presence, and there'll be some child in college, some young man, some young woman with a family, a degree, a business, who's able to say, I can remember there was a man named Roy Malonson who came along wearing overalls, who made that investment that caused my life to be better. And that's what God would applaud.
I would just like to say to Shirley and Roy, thank you for all of these many wonderful years of being committed to the community, your compassion and your deep loyalty to all of us has just been a great source of comfort to me as a pastor and to our church family. And I just want to take this time to wish you all the very best. This is your night. Enjoy it to the fullest. We love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it.
Being honored, we're grateful to people honored. We're grateful for the kind words they're saying. I don't know if they think I'm gonna put a hit on them or something. Some of them are saying kind words. I mean, that's really shocking, the things they're saying. I don't drink no more, so that's kind of strange they're saying, but we're really grateful, and we appreciate the honor, and we appreciate the recognition, and we're grateful. And I can just say, between me and my wife, we can say thank you. A simple 2 words, thank you.
It's been a good day. It has been a good day. I've had some heartaches and pain, a little sunshine and rain, some ups, some downs, some smiles and some frowns, but it's been a good day. Yes, it has. Thank you, Lord. Been a good day. Yes, it has. 'Cause I've got my health and strength, and I know that I'm in time. It's been a good day, and I thank God for it. It's been a good day. I've been lied on and cheated, talked about and mistreated, up and down.